If you are a first-time Carnival cruiser thinking about sailing on the Panorama, then you need to watch this ultimate compilation of all the Panorama videos I've made so far. Is the Carnival Panorama cruise ship worth going on? Let's find out with a ship tour. My name is Ruben and I am not a cruise expert, even though I love ducks. Speaking of which, I snuck some ducks into this video, so let me know in the comments below if you find them. Now let's kick off the tour and you will find out the most impressive thing at the very end. Deck 3. When we first walk onto the Carnival Panorama, we arrive onto the atrium on deck 3. You are greeted by this amazing grand atrium that spans 3 decks. And the center of it all is the atrium bar and this amazing LED pillar that changes throughout the day. If you turn right and face 4, you are looking towards the front or bow of the ship. There is Carnival Adventures on the port or left side and guest services on your starboard or right side. Back on the other side of the bar is the 4 restaurant, Horizon, where you go for early or late dining. To help you remember, 4 is towards the front of the ship and aft is towards the back of the ship. Like your aft, the Horizon will also be the meeting point for Carnival Excursions and Chef's Table. If you haven't done Chef's Table, you need to check out this video where I go over my entire experience. Before we continue to deck 4, let's rewind and let me show you how I got here. Tips for getting here. The Carnival Panorama sails out of Long Beach, California, and most people get here via plane or car. If you are flying in, it is recommended to fly in the day before, just in case your flight gets delayed or canceled. Speaking of waiting, I drove in and made a huge rookie mistake and got here at the worst time around 10:15 a.m. I never got communication that we needed to park off-site, so I got here way later than I should have. I dropped my check-in luggage with the porters before heading off to the Long Beach Convention Center, where all cars must park off-site. You walk out this way and take the bus back to the port. About an hour later, I finally got back to the port to wait in this huge line. The security line took about an hour, so 2 hours after I first arrived, I finally got on the ship around 12:09 p.m. A few tips for you. If you take an Uber here and you see the crazy long line getting into the parking garage, ask them to drop you off at the Queen Mary. You'll have to walk a little bit extra, but this will shave potentially an hour off waiting in that huge line. Even though I was mad at myself for getting on much later than I had planned and wanted to, I still love the walk down the aisle. Okay, let's head back inside the atrium and go up to deck 4. Deck 4. In the atrium on the mezzanine deck 4, we see 2 of these shops. There is a liquor and tobacco shop here. Note that any liquor you buy is held until you disembark, so you can't just buy a bottle and get blasted. However, stay tuned for a tip on how to get free alcohol on your cruise. And here is cherry on top with all kinds of great candy and stuffed animals. Maybe they have animals stuffed with candy. Who knows? On the other side of the atrium, we can find another shop with even more things to buy. Let's go in here and check it out. All right, you can see that they've got some other things to buy. This is mostly for the ladies. You can find some purses here. You can find some outfits. You know, other things. They've got little things like earrings, some little trinkets and stuff. Just other things for you to check out if you want to get some shopping. Going forward from the atrium, we get to the Liquid Lounge. This spans decks 4 and 5. This hosts theater performances and other entertainment shows. There is a bar here. And if you go upstairs, there are more seats. These center raised seats are my favorite for watching anything here, especially the theater shows. Walking back across the atrium, we get to the casino. There are tons of slot machines as well as lots of table games like blackjack and craps. There is even a non-smoking area tucked back here. a non-smoking area. That's amazing. If we keep walking aft, we get to the Heroes Tribute Bar where you can get a drink or watch some sports and hang out. They also stuck an electronic poker table here in the corner where you can often find me. Continuing aft, we see the art gallery where they've got all kinds of cool paintings. Down the hall, we have the Limelight Lounge, which hosts fun things like the comedy shows and Quest. Oops, we can't say that anymore. Oh, and if you are a night owl, you can come back and get your nightclub on.
They not like us, they not like us, they not like us.
Deck 3 and 4. If we round the corner, we get to the stern or back of the ship. This is the Vista or Aft restaurant. This restaurant is on both decks 3 and 4. Let's go down to the main entrance on deck 3 and check it out. If you have anytime dining, this is where you will come for dinner. This is also where they have breakfast, sea day brunch, and tea time. Pro tip, before you walk all the way over here for dinner, open the Carnival Hub app and check in first. You have to do this in order to get seated, so you might as well do this from the comfort of your cabin because you will get notified when your table is ready. Fun fact, on the Hub app, you can see your table number and see if you need to go check in on deck 3 or 4. Even though I was cruising solo, I made some amazing friends and we all came here for dinner. Check out this video for how I cruise solo and some tips for making friends. For breakfast, if you like salmon, get it. It is consistently really good and I usually ask for it by itself as a side. On sea days, I highly recommend coming to sea day brunch. They have a lot more options than the usual breakfast and some things are really amazing, like the steak, French toast, skillet cake. Their 7-layer chocolate cake was also amazing and I took some to go. Some dinner highlights for me were the crawfish strudel, escargot, barbecue spare rib, and of course, lobster on the second elegant night. On the last sea day, you can also come here from 3 to 4 p.m. for tea time. I was pretty disappointed because the Radiance had a much better tea time, 6.12 out of 10. But I made some great friends. Dylan even 3D printed this duck and gave it to me.
This is the duck, this is Dylan.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dylan. Deck 2, Family Harbor. If we go down one deck, we can check out the Family Harbor area where you get access if you booked a Family Harbor cabin. Stay tuned for a full tour of all the panorama cabins. There's an elevator. We want to head back up to deck 5 and we can take the stairs or elevators to get there. There are 3 sets of stairs and elevators at the fore, mid, and aft of the ship to get you up and down. If you do take the elevator, there are these so-called smart elevators where you need to select your desired deck first and then look for the letter corresponding to the elevator that will take you there. Once you get in, there are no buttons to push, so make sure you only get on the correct elevator, otherwise you might get stuck going nowhere. Deck 5. Now that we are up on the Deck 5 atrium, let's check out the fun shop. This shop has beauty products, clothing, all kinds of other interesting souvenir, swag, perfume, and cologne. You can find watches here. This area is dedicated to jewelry. And sometimes they wheel out a jewelry cart into the atrium. Pro tip, look for the liquor tasting event where you can sample 2 shots of liquor for free. Going aft from the atrium, we see the library here on the starboard side. They have all kinds of cool games to play that you can borrow. There are some amazing seating areas and even a chess table. It's a great area to just come and chill. Across from the library is the piano bar. This place was packed most nights, and for good reason. Next to the library is teppanyaki. Fun fact, they serve the same food with the same super fun experience for lunch, but for less money. Next to teppanyaki is bonsai sushi. Across the way is Fahrenheit Steakhouse. I did not have a chance to eat here, but when I did on the Firenze and the Radiance, it was amazing. Check out the full review here. Alchemy Bar. This is one of my favorite bars because it is centrally located, easy to get to, and it is a great meeting point. Plus, they make some of the best mixed drinks. I highly recommend trying one out. If you head aft on the port side, you will run into the central stairs, an elevator, and a dead end. Looping back around the Alchemy Bar, let's turn right and head aft. On the starboard side, we run into Pixels, where you can grab that glamour shot of yourself. Right past Pixels is Guy's Pig and Anchor Brewhouse. If you have been on other Carnival ships that have barbecue for lunch, this is so much more. Of course, they do have free barbecue lunch on embarkation and sea days. I found the lunch here is way better than that on the Radiance or Firenze. It is also a bar and pub that serves craft beer. They have live music here and dinner that you can pay extra for. I came here for dessert one night and had their apple cobbler. It wasn't bad. 7.21 out of 10. Next to Guys is Java Blue Cafe, where you can get coffee, some sweet treats, and even milkshake. Ocean Plaza is this really cool area with lots of great seating to hang out. They have lots of entertainment here with karaoke, live music, trivia. Part of Ocean Plaza is the Plaza Bar. Fun fact, they also serve coffee here. Moving aft to the stern of the ship, you will find the Havana Bar. This is in the very back. They have great seating areas for sitting and hanging out and often have live music to dance to. I got the kiss on the lips from the bar. If we slip past these doors, we get to the outside Havana area, which is restricted only to guests who have a Havana cabin. This is the stern or back of the ship, and there is a private pool, 2 jacuzzis, and lots of seating. Some special Havana balcony cabins have easy access in and out from their balcony. What do you think of these balconies? If we keep walking forward on either side of the ship, we get back to public areas with great seating to enjoy the outside. Deck 6. From the 4 elevators and stairs, we can check out the warehouse video arcade. On the other side of the stairs is Circle C and Club O2. Deck 7. Going up one deck to deck 7, we find Sky Zone. Panorama is the only cruise ship in the world with a Sky Zone on it. But this isn't even the best part of the ship. Stay tuned to the end for that. Decks 1, 8, and 9. If you're wondering, decks 1, 8, and 9 are cabins only. Check out this video for a tour of all the different cabins on the Carnival Panorama. Deck 15. Let's head all the way up to deck 15 into the 4, where we can find the Serenity Lounge. The only thing on deck 15 is the Serenity Lounge. This is all the way forward on the bow of the ship and has all these areas to lounge and hang out in. It can get packed during the day. There are 2 spas, fresh creations with salads and more healthy food. And also a bar, deck 14. If we go down 1 deck, we get to Cloud9 Salon, where you can get your hair did, your nails did, and everything else did. Stay tuned for the rest of the Cloud9 Spa Tour. If we go down to deck 12 and all the way across and go aft, we can go back up to deck 14 and check out the ropes course and skyrock. I'm afraid of heights, so I didn't check it out. Have you been on it? Deck 12. Back on deck 12, we can find these amazing aft views at the stern of the ship. There are also some great outdoor activities like this mini golf, basketball court, and a jogging track. And here there is a clubhouse for the youth. Moving to the center of the ship, we can overlook the main Lido area with some great seating to get some sun. If we keep going, we can get to Carnival Waterworks. These are the water slides and are so much fun. Going all the way to the 4 is the Cloud9 Spa. You have your treatment rooms, relaxation rooms, and the fitness center to work out. Deck 11, Central Lido area. Going back outside on deck 11, we have this Lido sandwich where you can be outside while still being covered from the sun and being shielded from the wind. At night, these seats light up. This deck is great for people watching the entire Central Lido area. In the aft right above the buffet is both Cucina del Capitano, the Italian restaurant, and Gigi's Asian Kitchen. Both are specialty restaurants, meaning you have to pay extra. Pro tip, come here for lunch, where you can get a taste for free. I had Gigi's for dinner one night and it was amazing. I had the pork belly for an appetizer, 10.12 out of 10. I had the beef and noodles for the main dish, 8.71 out of 10. There was a ton of food and I could have had leftovers. For dessert, I had these caramelized crepes, 8.13 out of 10. I liked it so much, I came back for lunch the next day. Highly recommend. Plus 1,000 Asia points. Deck 10, buffet. Going down the stairs from Gigi's, we get to the buffet, which is on deck 10 aft. There are drink stations for water, lemonade, hot chocolate, and coffee. There's also swirls for frozen yogurt and ice cream. They are not open all the time, but the gelato here is amazing. I highly recommend you check it out. The deli is also here and serves hot and cold sandwiches. In 2024, Carnival started rolling out a midnight buffet that goes from 11:30 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. and has some munchy type snacks. If we head aft to the stern, we get to the aft pool that also has 2 spas. In the middle is the Tides Bar. On the port side is Pizzeria del Capitano, which has the famous thin sliced pizza that people love. Unfortunately, gone are the days of 24/7 pizza and they close at midnight. On the starboard side is Seafood Shack. I love Seafood Shack. On other ships, I've had the crab cake, lobster roll, crab leg. So this time I tried their seafood platter. It was good, but I prefer the crab or lobster. What is your favorite part of the panorama? Let me know in the comments below. Going forward from the buffet, we get to the Central Lido area. Starboard side is Guy's Burger, where you can get an amazing burger and fries. One time they ran out of both ketchup and mayonnaise, but this amazing human went and grabbed a bottle for me so I can enjoy my burger and fries. On the opposite side, blue iguana for Mexican food. On both sides of the Lido deck are two different bars flanking the main Lido pool, Tequila Bar and Red Frog Rum Bar. Here is my favorite part of the ship, the main Lido pool and central Lido area. I am so impressed with the design of this area and how there are 3 decks. There are 2 decks for people watching, and you can fit so many people up here. There is this huge area on deck 10 for activities like ice carving, 80s glow night, Dennis brought all the cool stuff and we got dressed up. Silent disco party. It's pretty cool when you're wearing the headphones and kind of weird when you're not. They also play movies at night. Once every cruise on sea day, there is a towel animal takeover, which is really cool to see. You have to get up pretty early to catch them in their natural habitat before the humans scare them off. But the most fun event on the Lido deck is the sail away party. Just popping in to see how you're doing. From my perspective, you're doing great. Are you nervous about your first cruise on the Carnival Panorama, Firenze, or Radiance? Don't be, because this is your ultimate guide for sailing out of Long Beach. From parking to boarding, I will show you exactly what to expect and how to plan your cruise with confidence. At the end, I will even show you the one thing you need to avoid when you get on the ship. My name is Ruben and I am not a cruise expert, but I grow my own hair. First things first, when you see Los Angeles on Carnival's website, they really mean Long Beach. That's where this cruise terminal is. So don't let the name fool you. Also, keep your eyes peeled for some hidden ducks in this video. Comment their timestamps below, and if you find them all, you might get a shout out in my next video, like Chris with a C or Chris with a K. The Long Beach Cruise Terminal is about 23 miles from LAX and 12 miles from Long Beach Airport. Super convenient if you are flying in. Remember to fly in the day before. If you are driving, open your map program and type in Carnival Cruise Lines, which is way easier than 213 Windsor Way, Long Beach. Either way, when you are driving here, you will not see any signage for Carnival, which can be very confusing. But don't worry, I will make this easy. Look for anything that says Queen Mary and follow those directions. That will get you here. Now, whether you drive or fly, when you first get to the cruise terminal, you will get to this entrance. For bigger ships like the Panorama, this can be quite a traffic jam. So if you are getting dropped off, turn left here into the Queen Mary parking lot if you are okay walking a little bit. This can shave an hour off of your wait time. If you are driving, follow these lines and do one of 2 things. If you are allowed to park on site, you can skip this line and you can turn left to head straight into the parking lot. Now, if you want to drop your bags off with the porters first and or drop some passengers off, you will need to keep driving and then turn left into either of these 2 lanes. If you are dropping luggage off with the porters, make sure you keep these essential things with you. Your printed boarding pass, the required documentation. Don't worry, I will explain everything you need to know about this later. Also, keep anything else you will need your first few hours on board. I have heard of rare cases of luggage getting lost, so bring with you anything you need just in case something dramatic like this happens. If you are parking at the terminal, there is this huge multi-story parking garage that costs $23 per day. And as of right now, there is no ability or need to make a reservation. You just pay when you leave. Pro tip, look for this big dome on your left-hand side when you are parking, and this corner with stairs and elevator is the closest you're gonna get. If you are sailing on the Panorama, they make everyone park off-site.
What do you mean everyone?
even if you are sailing on the Frenzy, I have heard that there are some times when the lot is full and they will make people park offsite as well. But I personally have not experienced that myself. If you are parking offsite after you drop your passengers and bags off, then type in and search for the Long Beach Convention Center, as most of the time that is where you are going to be parking offsite. The entrance to the parking structure is off East Seaside Way, so you can also search for that and look for this road. You go all the way down to the end and turn right. Park your car where they tell you and walk out to the street where a bus will come pick you up. It took me about an hour from first getting to the cruise terminal to getting back there from the bus. So if you are driving, here is your 3-step game plan. Drop off, park, then board. Have your printed boarding pass ready and available, as well as your documentation. Stick with me, I'm gonna break this down. You will need a non-expired government-issued ID, as well as either a passport or a birth certificate. Your passport cannot expire within 6 months of your sailing. As of right now, Long Beach only sails to Mexico, but if that ever changes, or if you are going somewhere else, you might need a passport or a permanent resident card, as well as potentially a travel visa. A lot of people are confused right now about the whole real ID thing. To help clarify, as of right now, you do not need a real ID to get on a Carnival cruise. However, you might need one if you are flying. Now, if this video is already helping you out, smash that subscribe button for more Carnival videos from me. It really helps me with the YouTube algorithm, and I will really appreciate it. Before you check in and go through security, if you have a few minutes, check out this area right here to the right of the cruise terminal. It has this area where you get a great view of not only the harbor, but the ship, and it is perfect for some photos to kick off your vacation. Carnival's cruise terminal is this big white dome. You can't miss it. There is also a ton of signage and people directing you where to go. The lines can get crazy long, but there are some bathrooms outside here if you need. If you are Diamond, Platinum, or have Faster to the Fun, there is a separate line that is theoretically faster. Let me know in the comments below when your next Carnival cruise is. And have you sailed out of Long Beach? What are your tips to help other people out? Security is similar to the airport TSA. Remember, Carnival follows federal laws, so no naughty stuff. Once you get through security, you get to this waiting area. There is guest services if you need to talk to someone before you get on board. In the waiting area, I met so many amazing people and fans before my cruise even started.
All right, this is Kevin and Charity. Everyone, this is Lindsay and Priscilla.
I'm Del Moose Lodge.
Nicole and Ty. This is Kim and Patrick. Emma.
I'm Taylor.
Jennifer.
Hi.
Jojo. What's your name? Sophia. Christina. All right.
There are photo ops to get started because, well, you are officially on vacation. There are also some restrooms here. Pro tip, check out these video games that you could play for free. While you are waiting, take some time to download the Carnival Hub app if you have not already. You are going to need this while you are on board. Also, since you still have phone service, check out this playlist with tours of all the Long Beach Carnival ships so you can get even more excited about the fun that's to come. Usually around 11 a.m., they start calling groups to board the ship.
So at this time, we are now boarding our diamond guests.
So listen up and wait for your boarding group to be called. The earlier your check-in time, the earlier your group boarding will get called. Once your group gets called, take out your boarding pass to show it to these people here. You can now either take the elevator, which can have quite a wait, or walk up this ramp. When you get to the top, you will join another line to show them your boarding pass one more time. Now, you've made it through security, all the lines, the parking, but get ready for the fun stuff. I'm going to show you the first thing you need to do and the one thing that you need to skip. I know you are super excited to get on board, but take a moment to savor walking down the aisle. There are some great photo opportunities, and you can let the anticipation build. Woo! Woo! You are on board. The two things you need to do right away are to go to the muster drill and put your phone in airplane mode. My last sailing, I got so carried away that I forgot my own advice and almost ended up with a crazy cell phone bill. So make sure you do this the minute you get on the ship. If you have faster to the fun, you can drop your bags off in the room, but you still have to leave and wait until all the cabins are ready, which is usually around 1 or 1:30. Now, the one thing I never do on embarkation day is go to the Lido buffet because it is crazy. For some better food, check out Guy's Burger or Pig and Anchor Barbecue since they are only open on embarkation and sea days. Oh, you're still here. Here's a bonus duck for you real fans. Are you new to cruising or a total cruise pro? Here are 10 must-know Carnival Cruise food and drink tips to level up your cruise game. And trust me, tip number 7 will save you from the biggest time waster on board. Chuck in. My name is Ruben and I am not a cruise expert, but here we are. Tip number 1. First night freebies. Thinking about Fahrenheit 555 Steakhouse, teppanyaki, or other specialty dining? Book it for night 1 to get a free bottle of wine. And want more free alcohol? Well, check that out at the last tip. Pro tip, if you book specialty dining before your cruise, you can save some money, and a lot of places like teppanyaki sell out. However, know that if you need to cancel within 48 hours or you are a no-show, you will not get your money back. In either scenario, once you are on board, go talk to the maitre d' and ask what they can do for you. Tip number 2, free lunch. Some of the restaurants that charge extra for dinner have a free lunch where you can get a taste. Check out Gigi's Asian Kitchen, Cucina del Capitano, and others to get a free lunch to see if you want to even try out the paid dinner. Keep in mind that free lunch is not quite as good as the paid dinner, but it's still pretty good. At Gigi's, you can build your own stir-fry bowl. At Cucina, you can create your own pasta. Both are fresh, fast, and way better than the buffet. Pro tip, if you want teppanyaki, it is cheaper for lunch and is the same exact food and experience. Tip number 3, Guy's Burger Joint is not just hype. These burgers are legit. Guy's Burgers are the best out there, so make sure you get there from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pro tip, go to the Lido Marketplace sandwich shop and get a pretzel bun before bringing it to Guy's to make a pretzel burger. Tip number 4, sea day brunch is a vibe. Do not sleep in too late on sea days because sea day brunch is the best. They offer some dishes not available on other days, like steak and eggs, and some things like French toast are elevated above their normal breakfast. Pro tip, order more than one because they're all good. I even got some chocolate cake to go. Beverages. Let's take a food break and talk about the beverages. Included with your cruise fare are water, orange juice, lemonade, basic tea, and coffee. Of course, there are upscaled versions of all of these available for an extra fee. And of course, alcohol is always an upcharge. There is the Bubbles package that covers unlimited soft drinks and most juices, but know that it does not cover bottled water, specialty coffee, or beverages in souvenir glasses. You might also want to consider the Cheers beverage plan, which is much more comprehensive than what the Bubbles package covers. Even if you don't drink a lot of alcohol, the plan still might be worth it because it covers so much more than that. Pro tip, if you love specialty coffee, smoothies, and bottled water, you might actually get your money's worth even if you don't drink alcohol, or if you only have a few drinks every day. Check out this link in the descriptions and comments to a beverage calculator that I created that will help you figure out if it's worth getting. Tip number 6, room service. The Continental Breakfast room service is the last free room service item, so think about ordering that for a great morning wake-up call. All other items have a small fee. In late 2025, Carnival changed their late night pizza option to close at midnight, which created quite the controversy. There is a midnight buffet open until 2:30 a.m. that serves a different style of pizza and other foods that are closer to snacks or leftovers. And a lot of people feel that these are more appetizer or cafeteria type food. Now, if you want Carnival to bring back late night pizza, make sure you fill out the post-cruise survey to let them know so that hopefully they will bring it back. Once the midnight buffet closes, or sometimes when the buffet isn't even open, room service might be your only option that is truly available 24/7. Tip number 7, the biggest time waster. The biggest time waster on the cruise ship. I have seen even seasoned cruisers make this mistake, and that is to not check in for my time dining using the Carnival Cruise Hub app. Everyone needs to check in. Everyone needs to check in using the Carnival Hub app, even if you are a walk-in. So do not waste your time coming all the way down to the back of the ship just to stand in line waiting around for hours. The wait on some of the bigger ships can be more than an hour or two. So don't waste your time and skip all of that waiting to use the Hub app to check in from anywhere on the ship and chill, because you will get notified when your table is ready. Show that number to the dining room staff and they will show you to your table. If you are dining solo, you can select to be seated at a shared table and make new friends. Or you can search people by name and you can add other people to your reservation. Or if you want to check in a whole group, you can also do that. You can also search people by name if you've met new friends and want to add them to your reservation. Note that only one person needs to make the reservation for the entire group. Now, sometimes if you are not able to find or add people in the Hub app, you might need to go to the restaurant front desk and ask them to add people to your table. You only need to do this once, and you will need to know their folio number from their sign-in sale card. Pro tip, on the Hub app, you can see your table number and see if you need to check in on deck 3 or 4. Tip number 8, order more. While you are at the main dining restaurant, or MDR, realize that you can order more. You can order more than 1 appetizer and 2 main entree dishes. You can even get more than 1 dessert. You can even order 3 or more main entrees. You just need to pay a small surcharge for every extra main entree. As of right now, it's only $5 each. Additionally, there are things that are not on the menu that you can still get, like peanut butter for your chocolate melting cake, chicken noodle soup, a cheese plate for your appetizer, or even chicken nuggets. Pro tip, if you are with friends, talk about what you are ordering and get some things to share. We all loved the crawfish strudel so much that we ordered 10 of them. Okay, before we get to the drink tips, let me know what your food and dining tips are in the comments below. Tip number 9, where to get the best drinks. Most bars serve the same drinks, especially the standard ones. However, when you want some legit drink alchemy, you should head to the Alchemy Bar for custom cocktails mixed by these drink wizards. Not sure what to get? Well, tell them your vibe and let the magic happen. Pro tip, borrow someone's phone and set your drink on top for a much better photo. Tip number 10, who wants free booze and drink? Look for liquor tasting in the fun shops, which is where you will get 2 shots for free. Also look for events like the Captain's Toast, art auction, or casino events. You can often get free glasses of champagne just by showing up. I hope you're learning a lot and enjoying my old hairstyle. Do you know these 10 tips to make the most of your Carnival cruise cabin? I think everyone already knows number 1, but most of you probably do not do number 2.
Who does number 2 work for?
Cruiser? My name is Ruben and I am not a cruise expert, but I'm pretty good at pretending. Tip number 1. Tip number 1 is to take photos and videos when you first get in your cabin. This is because your cabin will never look any better or cleaner than it does right now. You don't have your stuff in there, you haven't been living in there for a week or 2, and it looks immaculate and ready for Instagram or TikTok or whatever the cool kids are using today. You do not have to be an influencer, but you probably want to share a picture with your friends and family. Tip number 2. Tip number 2 is to unpack and get settled as soon as possible. There are so many fun things to do on the ship, but on embarkation day, I recommend getting unpacked and settled. This way you have access to all of your belongings. Your clothes don't get any more wrinkly, and you just know where everything is. You can also get changed into something nice if you booked a specialty restaurant on embarkation day. Tip number 3. Tip number 3 is that once you are done unpacking, you can maximize space and put that suitcase underneath the bed. Tip number 4. Know that the Panorama only has power outlets by the table and there are no power outlets by the bed. So you might want to bring a long, non-surge protected extension cable. Check the description for what I have bought and used. You can also use this USB port behind the TV to plug stuff in, not just a sexy hat rack. Tip number 5. Speaking of power, when you want more power, bring a 220 volt European or international converter to get even more power outlets. I have seen as many as 4 different styles of power on a cruise cabin, so if you have a few, you can definitely get access to all of that power. Definitely check with your electronics and read the description label if it will accept either voltage. Tip number 6, bring a nightlight. This makes it easier to see the room even when it's dark. Even though the Panorama added motion sensor nightlights, you have to be close enough, and when I get out of bed, they don't turn on yet. Are you an expert cruiser? Are you an expert cruiser? Let me know what your best cabin tip is in the comments below. Tip number 7, bring a hang-up toiletry bag for your bathroom. It stores everything nice and neatly in there, making it really easy to share space with another human and just to pack and unpack. Tip number 8, in the showers there is this line that you can hang clothes from. Tip number 9, speaking of hanging things, bring some magnetic hooks. I use them to hang up my lanyard, my clothes, and even the do not disturb sign. Tip number 10, there is a cooler that you can shove all kinds of cool stuff in.
I put my little wellness shots, and I have some avocado toast in here.
I will bring desserts from the buffet and keep them cool here. Just know that this is not a refrigerator, just a cooler. Are you trying to figure out which cabin to book on the Carnival Panorama? You definitely should not book the cabin that you were thinking about. That's because after watching this tour, you might want the Grand Suite. My name is Ruben, and I am not a cruise expert, but I'm pretty good at pretending. As we check out each cabin, let me know in the comments below if you would book it or not. Interior cabin. Let's start this tour with the cheapest cabin. These are interior cabins and provide you with all the basics. You get 2 twin beds that could usually be pushed together to make a king. Panorama interior cabins are 160 or 170 square feet. All cabins. No matter which cabin you get, they all have at least one table with various electrical outlets for both 110 and 220 power, a cooler that is not technically a refrigerator but is pretty handy, 2 closets, and a bathroom. Bathrooms all have a shower, sink, and come with soap, body wash, and shampoo. If you are particular about what brand you use, you might want to bring your own. If you want a tour of the entire Carnival Panorama to see all of her quirks and features, check out this video here. Guaranteed cabin. Okay, let's settle this right now. I never recommend getting a guaranteed cabin. A guaranteed cabin is where you save really only a few dollars and let Carnival pick your cabin for you. Other than saving a few dollars, some people have gotten better cabins by doing this, but the downside can be huge. I have heard of people getting bumped from their cruise altogether because they got a guaranteed cabin and the cruise ship overbooked. Porthole cabins. Porthole cabins are the same size as interior cabins, but add this cute little window to the outside and a couch that converts to a bed. Ocean view cabins. Ocean view cabins are a little bit larger at 220 square feet and have a window to the outside world. These cabins also have a couch that converts to a bed. Family harbor cabins. These cabins come with access to the special family harbor area on deck 2. Deluxe ocean view family cabin. These cabins are a tiny bit bigger at 230 square feet and have a second bathroom with a sink and tub. Cloud9 Spa Cabin. The Cloud9 Spa Cabin is where you get access to spa facilities, a nicer interior, and some extra amenities like bath products and a Cloud9 branded robe to wear. Note that you do not get any free spa services like a facial or massage, just access to things like the thermal spa and sauna. Havana Cabins. Havana cabins are similar to family harbor cabins. These cabins give you access to the restricted Havana area in the stern of the ship on deck 5. This is in the back. Balcony cabins. Balcony cabins offer a private balcony for fresh air and even more room. Cabins are 185 square feet and balconies range from 35 to 100 square feet. The Havana balcony cabins had the biggest balconies at 100 square feet. Suite. The biggest cabins are suites. And balcony sizes are anywhere from 65 to 100 square feet. Cabin sizes ranging from 135 all the way up to 345 square feet for a grand suite. There is a pretty decent sized balcony, but not the biggest. It has the biggest living space of all cabins. This huge walk-in closet and getting ready area. And check out this huge bathroom. There is even a urinal and a huge shower/bathtub. It's huge. Have you found any ducks yet? Comment below if you have. There's a secret hidden restaurant on the Carnival Panorama. But is it better than the main dining restaurant, the MDR? Let's rank both and find out. My name is Ruben and I am not a cruise expert, but I love eating food on cruises. I sailed on the Panorama for my first time earlier this year and heard of this secret hidden restaurant that I wanted to try out. So I walked around trying to find it. And I explored and I explored. I probably should have watched this ship tour of the entire Carnival Panorama. So I guess the first rule of hidden restaurants is don't talk about hidden restaurants. While I couldn't find the secret restaurant, I did find the main dining restaurant, also called the MDR. It was not too hard to find because when you first get on the Panorama, it's right there in the atrium. This forward restaurant is called the Horizon, and this is where you come if you have set time dining. There are two options with early dining around 6 p.m. and late dining around 8 p.m. With both options, you always dine at the same time every day and with the same group of people. Pro tip, if you do not like the group you are seated with, talk to the maitre d' and ask to move tables. I personally prefer my time dining where you get to choose what time you want to eat every night. So I went exploring more to look for this mysterious hidden restaurant and also the other MDR. Eventually, I found Vista, which is the after back restaurant and where you come for my time dining. Even though I was cruising solo, I made some friends and we all came for dinner. I know many of you will eat at the MDR for dinner, so let's save that for later and check out a few of the other food options on the Panorama while we search for this hidden restaurant. On deck 5, next to the library, is Bonsai Teppanyaki. This is a specialty restaurant, meaning you have to pay, but the experience is so much fun and the food is great. Fun fact, they serve the same food with the same experience for lunch, but for less money. Next to teppanyaki is sushi. Across the way is Fahrenheit Steakhouse. Check out my full review of Fahrenheit 555 Steakhouse on the Frenzy right here. Further aft on deck 5 is Guy's Pig and Anchor Brewhouse. If you have been on other Carnival ships that have barbecue for lunch, this is so much more and so much better. Of course, they have free lunch on embarkation and sea days. I found the lunch here so much better than on the Radiance or Frenzy, and it is also a bar that serves craft beer. Next to, guys, is Java Blue Cafe, where you can get some coffee, some sweet treats, and even some milkshakes. Well, that was all on Deck 5 and still no hidden restaurant. Much like Victoria, this is still a secret. Let's go back to the MDR and check out what they have for breakfast. So many people go to the Lido Buffet for breakfast. For me, I love coming to the MDR for a more relaxed, sit-down restaurant vibe. Of course, you can get coffee, and I like to order hot chocolate to make myself a mocha. Some of my other favorites include the bruleed grapefruit and salmon. Breakfast is not a life-changing event, but I still like coming here more than the buffet. Overall, I give the breakfast a 6 out of 10. For sea days, I highly recommend coming to Sea Day Brunch. They have a lot more options than the typical breakfast and some items that you cannot get on any other day, like steak, 12-hour French toast, and skillet cake. This 7-layer chocolate cake was delicious, and I got seconds to go. Sea Day Brunch gets an 8 out of 10. Speaking of sea days, look out for tea time, which is usually the last sea day from 3 to 4 p.m. They have an assortment of teas for free, as well as some fancy teas you can pay extra for, as well as a bunch of finger foods, snacks, and desserts. That's just a fun time. I met some great people, including Dylan, who gave me this duck. Speaking of ducks, have you spotted the hidden ducks I started sprinkling throughout this video? Let me know in the comments below which ducks you find and at what time in the video. Then check out this playlist with all of the videos I have with hidden ducks in them. Okay, so even though I found some hidden ducks, I still have not been able to find this hidden restaurant. How am I gonna rate and rank both of them if I can't find one of them? Well, let's head up to the Lido deck and check out what food is up there and see if I can find this secret hidden restaurant up there. Out on the Lido deck, we run straight into Blue Iguana for Mexican food. On the opposite starboard side is Guy's Burger, where you can get an amazing burger and fries. This place totally lives up to the hype, but dang, no hidden restaurant. Okay, let's go back to the MDR and check out dinner. Let's check myself in for dinner and walk around while I wait. Woo! My table is ready. The Hub app says that I need to go to deck 4, so let's go say hi to Consolata because she is the absolute best. Hi. Okay, the best thing about the MDR is dinner. Because it's free, one thing I recommend to my friends who are sailing for the first time is to check out the MDR on multiple nights because they serve something different every night. Even better, on the Hub app, you can look at the menus and you can look at the menu for every night and you can plan ahead what you want to try, or if you want to try a different restaurant, like this secret hidden restaurant that I am still trying to find. For appetizers, 2 of my must tries are the crawfish strudel and escargot. 9 out of 10 for the crawfish strudel and 10 out of 10 on the escargot. So delicious. Remember that they serve something different every night, and you can only get escargot on Carnival sailings that are 6 days or longer. Of course, you can pay a little extra any night for lobster tail, but on this elegant night, you can get 2 of them for free. So of course, I got myself 2 lobster tails for both of my main dishes on this elegant night. Now, even though lobster is great, these 2 weren't the best I've ever had, so I gave them a 7.5 out of 10. Some of the other dinner dishes I had were the filet mignon, which was a 7 out of 10, and these braised short ribs, which were an 8 out of 10. I also really liked the barbecue spare ribs, which were a 9 out of 10. For dessert, I had tiramisu, which was a solid 8 out of 10, and the Carnival chocolate melting cake is always a 10 out of 10. For dinner, I give the MDR an 8 out of 10, and overall, the MDR also gets a 8 out of 10. As good as the MDR is, I had a feeling some of the paid specialty restaurants might be better. So let's go looking for that hidden restaurant again. I went searching and searching and searching. Up on deck 10 in the back or stern of the ship is Pizzeria del Capitano, which has the famous thin sliced pizza that people love. On the starboard or right side is Seafood Shack, which also has some amazing seafood. Oh, and right here is the Lido Buffet. Drink stations for water, lemonade, hot chocolate, and coffee. And of course, swirls for frozen yogurt and ice cream. Wait a minute, the Hub app has a deck plan. There it is. It's right above the Lido Buffet. Gigi's Asian Kitchen. Okay, so this is not your typical Carnival Panorama food review or what's the best specialty dining. And Gigi's is not really a hidden secret, but a lot of people do not know about it. So comment below if you knew about Gigi's or have eaten here or had a hard time finding it. Also comment if you know that Gigi's does lunch for free. So we have got to check it out. You get to build your own bear. Oh wait, bowl. You get to build your own bowl. I made a ginger pineapple pork stir-fry noodle bowl. Wow. Okay, that was pretty good. I give it a 7 out of 10. Pretty nice, and it was free. Now, I was really curious what dinner was like.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Well, it was not dinner time yet, so I walked around the ship while waiting for dinner and checked out what other cool stuff the Panorama had to offer. Did you know that this is the only cruise ship in the world with a skyline trampoline park? Crazy. If you want more of this tour of the entire Panorama, check out this video here. Is it time for dinner yet?
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Going back to Gigi's, everyone remembered me, which was great.
Welcome to Gigi, guys.
Dinner seems so much different than lunch. This is a whole new ballgame, and I'm here for it. Compliments of the chef, I got these square fried cheese things. Not bad. 7 out of 10. Oh, I love ginger beer. So when I saw Rum Dynasty, I had to try it out. 8.5 out of 10. Now let's check out the appetizers. I heard amazing things about the slow braised pork belly. And dang, I was so glad I got it. 11 out of 10. Let's go check out the kitchen where they make all the food while we wait for dinner. For dinner, I got the peppered beef. I was so excited to dig in, I forgot to get footage where it looked all nice and clean and presented and plated. So here it is after I already started digging in. This was a ton of food. I could have easily taken some to go, but I decided to finish it all. Easily a 9 out of 10. For dessert, I went with this interesting choice, which was the caramelized crepes. I've eaten a lot of Chinese food, but I've never had Chinese crepes before. Oh well, it was still pretty dang good. 8 out of 10. Now, here is the moment you have been waiting for. While the judges tally up the scores, please remember, I am not a food expert and I also cannot count to 10 in Spanish, so take everything I say with a grain of pepper. MDR. Breakfast was a 6 out of 10. Lunch was a 0 out of 10. Brunch was an 8 out of 10. Tea time, a 7 out of 10. And dinner was an 8 out of 10. Overall score for the MDR? Well, let's jump to Gigi's first. Gigi's Asian Kitchen. Breakfast scored a 0 out of 10. Lunch was a solid 7 out of 10. Brunch was also a 0 out of 10. Tea time was 0 out of 10. But dinner was a 9 out of 10. Now, the judges are going to tally up all of the scores and do some nonsense math that doesn't add up. Coming in with 821 China points is the MDR. But Gigi's, if you only compare dinner, then Gigi's is the clear winner with a 9 out of 10, and you should definitely eat here. Are you not sure which Cabo excursion to book? Check out this full review of the Tropical Tours excursion, Discover the Wonders of Cabo by Land and Sea. Booking through Carnival. Before we dive into the excursion review, I do want to share how I booked by excursion because something really interesting happened that you do not always hear about. I was sailing on the Carnival Panorama for the first time and going to Cabo for my first time. So I wanted an excursion to check out all the touristy stops and get some great footage for my Firenze videos. You can check out the whole playlist here. I decided to book through Carnival and oh boy, was I glad I did. First of all, our port day switched. So the day we were supposed to be in Cabo got swapped to a different day. Then our port times also changed. Initially it was 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., but that got changed to 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. While other people who booked excursions on their own had to scramble, I did not have to lift a finger and everything was changed for me and I just had to show up. I really liked that. So I am glad that I booked through Carnival. I paid $75.99 even though I know you can save a few bucks booking it yourself. Okay, this might sound like an ad, but I did not get paid any money for this video. I paid for the entire cruise and the excursion with my own money. But hey, if you want to sponsor me, let me know. Meeting point. One more nice thing about getting an excursion through Carnival is that we met on the cruise ship first and boarded onto the tender boats by group. We all stayed together and we got to shore even faster than all the peasants. Arch cruise. The first thing we did was take a boat out to see the tip of the famous Land's Arch, the southernmost tip of Baja California. We had some amazing views of the arch, Cabo's coastline, and even our ship. Note that the tour description says that you take a catamaran, but we were on a regular boat, which I was totally fine with. And I thought was nicer because you can actually walk back and forth and get some different views. Clifftop view. When we got back to land, we started the tour bus portion, and the first stop was the Sunset Mona Lisa on top of Cabo Bella. We had some amazing panoramic views on the entire bay. Our tour guide was Armando, and he was amazing. He was super friendly, engaging, and knowledgeable.
Hello. Make sure you come, make sure you give him a good tip too.
Okay. Very good.
San Jose. We took a 20-minute drive east to San Jose, the neighboring city to Cabo, and Armando told us some fun facts on the way. Lunch is not provided with this tour, but you do have a chance to eat lunch while you are in San Jose, and Armando recommended Jasmine, which was pretty good, but a little overpriced. It does have this really cool space and area, and the staff was very friendly. I still recommend it. San Jose shopping. Our next stop was just a few minutes away for more tourist shopping. I decided to pass on shopping and instead got a 10-minute massage at Soleil Spa because the owner was so nice. She did not even charge me and just had me tip. Glass blowing factory. Our last stop was the glass blowing factory where we got to watch a master glass blower do his thing and make this really cool turtle. Back to the ship. With about an hour before all aboard, the line to get on the tender boats was crazy long and it took about 20 minutes just waiting in line to get back to the ship. Pro tip, know what time it is because Cabo time is different than ship time, and that confused a lot of people. My opinion, I thought this excursion was a good value for the money, even booking through Carnival. The Arch cruise to see the Land's End Arch was really cool, getting you a little closer to the arch than you get from the cruise ship. The clifftop view was spectacular. Everything else was meh. And if there was an excursion that did only the first two things, I would recommend that in a heartbeat. If you want to get some great views of Cabo, I highly recommend this tour. However, if this is your only stop in Cabo, you will get almost as good a view of the arch from the cruise ship and not spend your whole day on a bus doing things that you might not want to do. Whatever you do, make sure you check out this next video.
Bye.
Wow, you did it! Now check out this ultimate Firenze playlist.